When silence is broken, the truth of people is revealed. That's a quote I want you to carry as we start today, my friends, because when they finally break the silence and come back into your life, most people fail right here. They think it's a victory. They think it's a sign of love, regret, or destiny pulling strings again. But let me tell you straight, more often than not, it's not a love story being rewritten. It's a test. And if you're not careful, you'll hand back every ounce of power you built during the silence. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll see exactly how to move with strength when they break that silence. Before we dive deep, do me a quick favor. Press that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's grow together in this journey of strength and clarity. Hey folks, imagine this. You've been a lighthouse standing strong in the middle of a storm. The waves crash, the wind howls, the ships pass you by, but you don't move. You shine, steady and unmoved. Then suddenly, one of those ships that drifted away months ago decides to send you a signal, a little flicker of light back in your direction. Now here's the trap. Most people see that flicker and think, oh, they've returned for good. This must mean I've won. But a lighthouse doesn't move for the ships. The ships move because of the lighthouse. If you forget that, if you abandon your position to chase their flicker, you stop being what gave you strength in the first place. You see, my friends, silence is misunderstood. People tell you it's weakness, that not responding makes you bitter or petty. That's the lie. The truth is, silence is discipline. It's the pause that builds respect. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Silence is that power. And when they break it, you don't suddenly lose it. You test whether they respect it. Most people fail here because they're secretly waiting by the phone, craving validation. The moment the message pops up, they melt like ice in the sun. They reply too fast, they gush, they celebrate as if they've been rescued. Folks, let me break it to you, they didn't come back to save you. More often than not, they came back to save themselves. Loneliness, curiosity, jealousy, boredom, these are the real reasons silence gets broken. And if you don't see that clearly, you'll mistake crumbs for a feast. Think about it like this. If you've been starving for days and someone throws you scraps, you might be tempted to grab them. But a king doesn't eat scraps. A king waits for a meal worthy of his table. And you, my friends, are not beggars in this life. You are builders of empires. Don't throw away your crown just because someone decided to knock at the gates after ignoring the kingdom you built. Here's where it gets funny too. They think they're being subtle, dropping a "Hey stranger" or a casual "How have you been?" as if nothing ever happened. It's like a magician thinking you don't see the trick. But you do. You see the strings, you see the smoke, you see the illusion, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The test isn't about their words, it's about your reaction. Do you crumble and give them the applause, or do you sit back, arms folded, and let them prove their intent? So when that silence breaks, remember, it's not your cue to celebrate, it's your cue to observe, to measure, to hold the line, because if you fold the second they knock, you prove you were never standing tall in the first place. But if you stay calm, collected, and true to your frame, you show the world, and yourself, that your strength isn't negotiable. Stay with me, because in this video, I'll break down exactly how to handle this moment, step by step. For now, I want you to type these words in the comments. I stand firm. That's your affirmation. Write it to remind yourself, show it to the world, and declare it to your own mind. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dive deeper. The silence was your strength. What comes next will prove it. Number 1. Don't rush to celebrate. Not everything that glitters is gold, and not every message is a treasure. That's where we begin, my friends. Because when they finally break the silence, when their name lights up on your screen after weeks or months of absence, most people stumble right here. They think it's the moment they've been waiting for. They think the silence has ended because the story is about to turn into a fairy tale again. But here's the reality. Most of the time, it isn't a fairy tale. It's a test. And if you're not careful, you'll fail before the conversation even begins. Imagine this. You've been walking through a desert for days. No water, no shade, just endless heat and emptiness. Then, suddenly, in the distance, you see a shimmer. Your heart leaps. Finally, an oasis, you think. But as you run closer, it disappears. It was only a mirage. That's exactly what happens when they break the silence. You see a flicker, a shimmer of what you hoped for, and your thirsty heart convinces your mind that it's real. But my friends, not every message is an oasis. Sometimes it's nothing more than sand dressed up as salvation. Now here's where the fear kicks in. Questions flood your mind. What if this is my only chance? What if they're finally ready to fix things? What if ignoring them means I lose them forever? These questions don't come from strength. They come from scarcity. They come from the part of you that still believes your worth depends on their attention. And that's the lie you must destroy right here, right now. Your worth does not rise or fall with a message. A message is not validation. A message is not proof of regret. A message is simply a vibration of pixels on a screen, nothing more. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Think about that. It's not the message that shakes you. It's the meaning you attach to it. Most people crumble here because they attach fantasy to reality. They see, "Hey, how are you?" and translate it into, "I miss you, I regret everything, I want to start over." That's the trick the mind plays, and that's the trap you must avoid. Here's a truth they don't want you to hear. When they break the silence, it's rarely because they woke up at 3 a.m. overwhelmed with love and regret. More often it's because of curiosity, boredom, jealousy, or the fear that they no longer matter to you. Silence unsettles them. They can't read your emotional temperature anymore. Are you waiting for them? Are you moving on? Are you thriving without them? That uncertainty drives them crazy. So they break the silence, not to give, but to take. To take answers, to take reassurance, to take back control. Think of it like a fisherman testing the line. They cast the bait into the water and wait to see if the fish will bite. The bait is the message. The hook is your reaction. If you bite too fast, you're caught. They know you're still there, waiting, and the game continues on their terms. But a wise fisherman knows sometimes the line stays slack, and that's what makes the fish uncatchable. Don't be the easy bite. Don't mistake bait for love. I know it's hard. I know the silence has been heavy. You've replayed memories in your mind. You've fought the urge to reach out yourself. And now, with one notification, all that discipline feels like it's about to collapse. But this is the moment that defines whether your silence was weakness or power. If you rush to celebrate, you undo everything you built. You hand back the power you worked so hard to claim. But if you pause, if you breathe, if you remind yourself of who you are, you rise above the test. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And that's the battlefield you're standing on right now. Freedom from their control doesn't come from their silence or their noise. It comes from your mastery of yourself. If you can resist the urge to celebrate, to assume, to fantasize, then you've already passed the first test. You've already shown that your frame is stronger than their attempt to shake it. Let's break another lie while we're here. The lie that says, if they reach out, it means they care. My friends, reaching out doesn't always mean caring. Sometimes it means controlling. Sometimes it means soothing their ego. Sometimes it means checking if you're still an option, just in case things don't work out elsewhere. And if you rush to celebrate, you fall right into their illusion. Caring isn't in a text. Caring is in consistent action, in respect, in effort. Anything less than that is just noise. So what do? You observe, you analyze, you hold the line, you don't let the shimmer of a message blind you to the desert you've walked through. You remind yourself that not everything that comes back deserves to stay, and you refuse to celebrate what hasn't yet proven itself to be real. Here's the part most people miss. Silence wasn't just about them. It was about you. It was about reclaiming your strength, your dignity, your self-respect. If you rush to celebrate their return, you betray that work. You tell yourself, all that waiting, all that discipline, all that growth, it was just to get them back. No, my friends, it was to get yourself back. Don't lose yourself again in the thrill of a notification. Instead, rise above the noise. Remember the desert, remember the fisherman, remember the lighthouse that stands tall, no matter which ship sail past. That's you, unmoved, unshaken, unbothered. Their message isn't a crown, you already wear one. Don't take it off for anyone. So here's your affirmation for today. I don't chase crumbs. Write it in the comments right now. Show yourself, show the world, show everyone watching that you won't mistake scraps for a feast. You won't rush to celebrate what hasn't proven itself worthy. And stay with me, because in the next step, I'm going to show you how timing itself reveals everything about why they broke the silence. This is just the beginning. The real test has only started. Number 2, analyze the timing. Everything has its hour, and every action carries a hidden motive. My friends, when they finally break the silence, the very first thing you must study isn't the words they send, it's the timing. Because timing always tells a story. Think about it. Why now? Why today? Why after all those weeks, months, or even years of silence? The when often matters more than the what. And if you miss this, you'll fall for the surface-level illusion, while the truth quietly slips past you. Picture this. You're sitting at the edge of a forest. For hours, nothing moves. The trees sway quietly, the birds are still, the path is empty. Then suddenly, you hear a twig snap. Do you rush forward blindly, assuming it's safe? No. If you're wise, you ask, why now? What caused that sound? Is it a friend or is it dangerous? That one moment of awareness could save your life. In the same way, when silence is broken, don't rush into the noise. Step back. Look deeper. Timing is the snapped twig that tells you what's really walking through the forest of their mind. Let's get practical. If they reach out late at night after weeks of nothing, what does that tell you? Maybe it's loneliness. Maybe it's boredom. Maybe they're lying in bed scrolling through old photos and need a quick hit of validation. That's not love, it's convenience. If they suddenly reach out after you posted something online, smiling, thriving, surrounded by friends, what does that reveal? Jealousy, fear of being replaced. Their message isn't about missing you, it's about protecting their own ego. And if they reach out right after a breakup, or right after they've been hurt elsewhere, what does that scream? It screams rebound. They're not coming to you because you're their number one, they're coming because you're the emergency exit. This is why timing matters. Seneca said, "Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future." And that's exactly why people break silence. They're anxious. Anxious about being forgotten, anxious about losing control, anxious about not mattering in your future. Their timing exposes the fear they don't want you to see. Now let's break the lie. Most people think a message is a message. They tell themselves they reached out so they must care. But my friends, that's not always the truth. The content of a message can be disguised, polite, playful, even apologetic. But the timing, that's raw, that's real, that's where their mask slips. And if you're wise enough to study the timing, you'll see their motive without them ever saying a word. Here's the fear that will creep into your mind. If I don't respond, what if they disappear again? That fear blinds you to the timing. You think silence breaking equals reconciliation. But ask yourself honestly, if someone only remembers you after a long silence, after seeing you happy, after they're lonely, do they truly value you? Or do they value the comfort you bring in their moment of need? Timing tells you if they're showing up for you or for themselves. Let me give you another metaphor. Imagine you're an athlete training for months, and suddenly the old coach who doubted you appears only after you win a medal. Do they value your effort? Or do they value attaching themselves to your success? Timing always reveals intention. The ones who show up when it's hard, those are real. The ones who only knock when it's convenient, they're tourists, not residents. And here's where your discipline matters. You can't let timing trap you into emotional impulsiveness. You must step into the Stoic shoes and observe. Ask yourself, why today? Why now? What changed? Did something happen in their world, or are they truly choosing to re-enter yours? Don't be afraid to connect the dots. Often the dots will form a picture you didn't want to see, but that picture will set you free. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you always own the option of having no opinion. That means when their message arrives, you don't have to label it love, reconciliation, or regret. Sometimes it's nothing more than a test, a flicker of curiosity, a late-night itch. By analyzing the timing instead of rushing to attach meaning, you reclaim the one power that matters, perspective. So, my friends, when they break the silence, don't just read their words. Read the clock, read the calendar, read the context. Because timing never lies. And if you see clearly, you'll know whether their knock deserves an open door or nothing but silence in return. Stay strong, stay observant, and let timing be your compass. And let's set our affirmation for this step. I read the timing. Write it down in the comments right now. Show yourself, show the world, and remind your own heart that you won't be fooled by surface-level words anymore. Timing will guide your wisdom. Stay with me, because next we'll break down how their tone, the very way they phrase their message, reveals more than they ever intended. That's where we're heading, and trust me, it gets even deeper. Number 3. Decode the tone. A person's words may hide their heart, but their tone always gives them away. My friends, when they finally break the silence, most people make the mistake of only reading the words on the screen. They look at the text. Hey, what's up? Been thinking about you. And they get lost in the letters. But the wise man knows, it's not the words alone that matter, it's the tone. The tone is where the truth slips through. The tone is where their real motive leaks out, even when they try to hide it. If timing is the snapped twig in the forest, tone is the shadow that follows behind it. Think about it this way. Imagine you're at a masquerade ball. Everyone is wearing masks, hiding behind costumes and disguises. You can't see their faces, but then one of them speaks. And in that voice, in the softness, in the sharpness, in the nervous laugh, you suddenly know who they are. That's what tone does. It takes off the mask. The question is, are you listening closely enough to hear it? Let's break it down. Sometimes they'll reach out with casual confidence, as if nothing happened. Hey, stranger, they'll say, like weeks or months of silence can be brushed off with a playful smirk. That tone is control. That's not an apology, that's not vulnerability. That's them saying, I still have the power to act like nothing matters. And if you don't decode it, you'll mistake arrogance for affection. Other times the tone will be apologetic. They'll write, I know I messed up, or sorry for going quiet. That tone is different. It acknowledges fault. But here's the trap. Even an apology can be a tactic. Is it genuine remorse, or is it guilt dressed up as sincerity to lower your guard? You have to ask yourself, Does the apology come with effort, or is it just words trying to buy their way back into your attention? Then there's the playful tone. What are you up to? Don't forget me. Miss me yet? That's bait, plain and simple. That tone is designed to test if you'll nibble. It's them throwing hooks in the water, seeing if you'll bite. Don't mistake it for warmth. Playful tones often hide deeper motives, jealousy, insecurity, or plain boredom. And of course, sometimes the tone is defensive. Wow, you've been ignoring me. Or, guess you're too busy for me now. That tone is accusation. It's not about missing you, it's about trying to guilt you back into the old rhythm where you chased and they pulled away. If you fall for it, you'll slip back into their frame. But if you decode it, you'll see it for what it is, control disguised as concern. This is why decoding the tone matters so much. Because the words are a mask, but the tone is the truth. The Stoics understood this long ago. Epictetus said, "If someone speaks ill of you, don't defend yourself against their words. They are only sounds." The same applies here. Their words are sounds, shapes on a screen. The truth lives in the intention behind them, and intention always leaks through tone. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what if I'm overanalyzing? What if I read too much into it? My friends, let me break another lie. Being observant is not being paranoid, it's being wise. When someone reappears after silence, they're already making a calculated move. It's your duty to make a calculated observation. This isn't about being suspicious of everything, it's about refusing to be blind. Here's the fear most people wrestle with. What if their tone really does mean they've changed? What if this is the apology I was waiting for? And I'll tell you the truth, maybe it is, but one message, one tone, one sentence isn't proof. Words are cheap. Consistency is priceless. If their tone says one thing, watch if their actions follow through. If the tone is warm but the actions go cold again, you know it wasn't real. Don't let a tone trick you into rewriting history. So here's what you must do. Step back and read between the lines. Ask yourself, is this tone casual, apologetic, playful, or defensive? What does it really reveal? Does it align with someone who values me or someone who's testing me? Don't let the mask fool you. See the shadow behind it. Because when you master this skill, you stop being a puppet to their words. You become the observer, the one with clarity, the one who cannot be manipulated by tone, guilt, or charm. That's what Stoic strength looks like in modern life. So let's seal this step with an affirmation. Type these words in the comments right now. I see through tone. Write it, declare it, and remind yourself that you won't be fooled by surface-level charm again. Show yourself, show the world, and show them that your clarity cannot be shaken. And stay with me, because next we're going to uncover something even trickier, the emotional hooks they use to pull you back in. This is where most people collapse, but not you. You'll be ready. Number 4. Guard against emotional hooks. He who angers you conquers you. That was Benjamin Franklin, and my friends, it's the perfect doorway into this next truth. Because when they break the silence, they rarely come empty-handed. They come carrying hooks, emotional hooks, words crafted not to inform you, but to stir you, to pull you, to make you react. And if you don't guard yourself, you'll find their hooks buried deep in your emotions before you even realize what happened. Picture this. You're walking through a marketplace. Merchants line the streets, shouting, waving, offering samples. Taste this. Try that. Remember when you loved this? Some call with sweetness, some with guilt, some with flattery. Their goal isn't to give, it's to get. That's exactly how emotional hooks work. When they break the silence, they're the merchant, and you're the customer they're desperate to reel back in. The question is, will you take the bait, or will you walk through the marketplace with your head high, knowing you don't need what's being sold? Let's break down these hooks, because they're predictable once you see them. One of the most common is nostalgia. They'll say things like, "Remember when we used to talk all night?" Or, "Do you ever miss those old times?" Nostalgia is powerful because it doesn't attack you in the present. It drags you into the past. It takes you back to memories, laughter, moments you've probably replayed 100 times in silence. And for a moment, your heart softens. You think, maybe those feelings are still real. But here's the truth. The past is a photograph, not a doorway. Nostalgia is a trick. It's designed to blur the pain and spotlight the highlights, so you forget why the silence existed in the first place. Another hook is guilt. I feel like you've been ignoring me. I guess I don't matter anymore. These aren't statements of care, they're statements of control. Guilt is one of the oldest hooks in human history. If they can make you feel like the villain, you'll rush to clear your name. You'll explain, defend, and prove your worth. But my friends, never fall for this. Silence isn't a crime. Boundaries aren't betrayal. And you never owe an explanation to someone who couldn't respect your presence in the first place. Then comes flattery. "No one gets me like you do. I've really missed talking to you." These lines are warm, sweet, and dangerous. Why? Because they stroke the ego. They remind you of your uniqueness, of the bond you once felt, of the role you played in their life. And it feels good, doesn't it? To be reminded you mattered. But flattery without action is just sugar water. It tastes sweet but nourishes nothing. Don't confuse flattery for commitment. Don't confuse compliments for consistency. And finally, there's provocation. This one's sharp. "I've been seeing someone new. I didn't think you cared anyway." These statements are designed to sting, to poke at your pride, to make you react. They want to see if you'll snap, if you'll defend, if you'll fight for attention. But here's the Stoic truth. If you let their words provoke you, you hand them the reins. You prove you're still under their control. So how do you guard against these hooks? The answer is simple but not easy. Detach, don't react. Observe. When they dangle nostalgia, remind yourself, the past is not the present. When they try guilt, remind yourself, my boundaries are strength, not weakness. When they flatter, remind yourself, actions matter more than words. When they provoke, remind yourself, my silence is my power. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The hooks are outside events. They're bait, they're noise. Your strength is in mastering your reaction. The moment you recognize a hook for what it is, the power shifts. You stop being the fish and become the fisherman. You see the line, the bait, the trap, and you smile because you know you'll never bite again. I won't lie to you, my friends. This is hard. The hooks target your emotions, and emotions are strong. They know which strings to pull. They know which memories you hold closest. But difficulty is not impossibility. Every time you resist, you grow stronger. Every time you see through the trick, your clarity sharpens. And soon, those hooks won't even touch you anymore. You'll walk through the marketplace untouched, immune to the cries, immune to the bait, because you've learned the art of stoic detachment. So let's anchor this truth with an affirmation. Write these words in the comments right now. I don't take the bait. Say it to yourself, show it to the world, and let it remind you that no hook, no trick, no line can pull you where you don't want to go. You are in control. You hold the frame. Stay with me, because next we'll go even deeper, how to respond or not respond with stoic detachment when they come knocking. This is where your silence turns into power, and your words, if you choose to use them, become weapons of clarity instead of chains of weakness. Number 5, Respond with Stoic detachment. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Those words from Epictetus should echo in your mind whenever they break the silence, my friends. Because here's the truth. Whether you respond or not is never about them. It's about you. It's about your frame, your discipline, your clarity. And if you do choose to respond, it must be done from a place of detachment, not desperation. Imagine this. You're a king in your castle. Someone knocks at the gate after being gone for months. Do you sprint to the door, fling it open, and welcome them like a long-lost savior? Or do you remain seated on your throne, calm and composed, while your guard goes to see who it is? That's the difference between desperation and detachment. One gives away power, the other commands respect. When you respond with Stoic detachment, you remind yourself and them, you are the king, not the servant. Most people fail here. They respond too quickly, too emotionally, too eagerly, and in doing so, they erase all the power their silence earned them. The moment you rush, you scream, "I was waiting for you." The moment you pour your emotions out, you confirm, "You still control me." But detachment changes the game. Detachment says, "I choose whether or not this interaction matters." It's no longer about their return, it's about your standard. Let's break some lies. The world tells you that replying instantly is polite, that long, heartfelt responses show maturity, that emotional honesty is the only path to connection. But in reality, quick replies scream neediness, long essays scream desperation, and over-explaining screams insecurity. My friends, never let your words betray your worth. A Stoic response is measured, calm, deliberate. It carries weight not because it's long, but because it's grounded. Here's how it looks in practice. If they message you with, "Hey, I've been thinking about you," the desperate man replies, "I've been thinking about you too. I missed you so much. I'm glad you reached out." But the detached man, he simply replies, "Interesting. What made you reach out?" Do you see the difference? One folds into their frame, the other forces them to explain themselves. Or consider if they say, "I feel like you've been ignoring me." The insecure man replies with explanations. "No, I wasn't ignoring you. I've just been busy. I still care. I didn't mean to hurt you." But the Stoic man? He replies, "I've been focused on what matters to me." What's on your mind? Calm, clear, detached. He acknowledges himself first and makes them do the work. Detachment doesn't mean coldness. It doesn't mean rudeness. It means clarity. It means you don't let emotions dictate your words. You speak with purpose, not impulse. Think of it like martial arts. The untrained fighter swings wildly, burning energy, leaving openings. The master waits, moves with precision, strikes only when necessary. Your words must be the same. No wild swings, no wasted energy, no openings for them to exploit. Only precision, only control. This is difficult, I know, because your heart will want to run ahead of your mind. You'll feel the rush of dopamine when their name lights up your phone. You'll want to pour out everything you've been holding back. But ask yourself, what's stronger? To spill yourself recklessly or to master yourself completely? Remember the lighthouse. It shines steadily whether ships stay or sail. Be the lighthouse, be the throne, be the master, not the servant. And if you choose not to respond at all, that too is detachment, that too is power, because silence can be louder than words. The key is that whether you respond or don't, it must be your choice. Not fear, not craving, not impulse, choice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Their message is an outside event. Your response is your mind. That's where the battlefield is, and the man who wins that battle wins everything. So let's seal this with an affirmation. Type these words in the comments right now. I respond with clarity. Write it, own it, And let it remind you that you are never at the mercy of someone else's timing or tone. You are the one who decides if and how you respond. Stay with me, because next we'll go deeper into another test, the effort they put in. Because it's not just about your words, it's about whether their actions back up their message. That's where we separate illusion from truth. And that's what's coming next. Number 6. Test their effort. Well begun is half done. Aristotle's words fit perfectly here, my friends, because when they break the silence, sending that first message is only the beginning. Too many people mistake that beginning for the whole story. They think they reached out, that must mean they're serious. But effort is what reveals intention. Words are cheap. A message costs nothing. Real sincerity costs energy, consistency, and investment. And that's what you must test before you even consider letting them back into your world. Think about it like this. Imagine someone knocks on your door after disappearing for months. They knock once, and you open immediately, smiling, welcoming, pouring them a drink. What did they invest? Nothing. They lifted a finger, and you did all the rest. But a wise man doesn't open the door just because someone knocked. A wise man waits to see if they knock again, if they wait patiently, if they show respect for the door they once ignored. That's effort. That's the difference between someone testing and someone proving. Now let's be clear, testing their effort doesn't mean playing games. It means refusing to overcompensate. When they send a vague message like, "Hey, don't be the one to carry the entire conversation," reply briefly, neutrally, calmly, "Hey, what's up?" Then wait. Do they invest more? Do they explain? Do they put thought into the conversation? If they don't, then their silence breaking was nothing but a flicker of boredom. But if they do, if they follow up, if they put in real energy, then you begin to see whether their motives are genuine. Here's the trap most people fall into. They get one message and suddenly they're writing paragraphs, asking questions, trying to fill the silence with validation. My friends, that's like pouring buckets of water into dry soil without checking if the soil can even grow anything. Test the ground before you waste your water. Their effort is the test. If they're serious, they'll bring seeds, not just empty hands. Effort reveals everything. Consistency, interest, sincerity, all of it shows in whether they keep showing up. Anyone can send one message. Anyone can light up your phone once. But do they continue? Do they follow through? Do they make space in their day for you? Or do they disappear again the moment you give them attention? Watch carefully, because patterns don't lie. And if their pattern is inconsistency, don't rewrite it as potential. Let's bring this home with another metaphor. Imagine you're hiring someone to join your company. They show up to the interview in fancy clothes with polished words. Impressive, right? But then on the job, they're lazy, late, and careless. Would you keep them just because they said the right things in the interview? Of course not. You'd let them go. So why would you let someone re-enter your life without testing their effort beyond the first hello? Your life is your company. Your time is your currency. Only those who invest real effort deserve a seat at your table. This will feel uncomfortable at first, because deep down, part of you wants to believe their first message is enough. Part of you wants to rush, to celebrate, to assume. But ask yourself, have they truly earned their way back in? Or are you doing all the work again? Remember, silence wasn't just about them, it was about you learning to stand firm. Don't betray that lesson by lowering the bar at the first knock. And if their effort fails the test, if they vanish again, if they go cold, if they only wanted to see if you'd bite, good. That's clarity, that's freedom. You didn't lose them, you exposed them, and exposure is protection. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Testing their effort is the friction that polishes your clarity. It shows you whether what's in front of you is a gem or just glass. So here's your action. Keep your responses light, neutral, and deliberate. Don't chase, don't overinvest. Let their effort rise to the surface. Watch what they do when you don't carry the weight for them. That's how you find truth. That's how you protect your value. Let's anchor this lesson with an affirmation. Write it in the comments right now. I test effort. Because that's your shield. That's how you show yourself and the world that you won't be fooled by empty words anymore. Only effort matters. Stay with me, because next we'll go even deeper, into the core of what keeps most people trapped. It's not just about effort. It's about whether you hold your frame when tested. Because if you abandon your frame, even their effort won't save you. And that, my friends, is where we're heading next. Number 7. Don't abandon your frame. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Those words hit harder when silence breaks, my friends, because when they come back, when their message finally appears, most people collapse right here. They throw away their standards, soften their boundaries, and let their emotions run the show. They abandon their frame, and the moment you abandon your frame, you don't just lose control of the conversation, you lose respect from them and from yourself. Let's make this clear. Your frame is the set of values, standards, and principles you live by. It's the invisible backbone that holds you upright in relationships, work, and life. Without it, you're like a ship with no anchor, drifting wherever the waves take you. And when they break the silence, that's exactly what they're testing. Will you drift, or will you stand firm? Imagine a tree in a storm. The wind howls, the rain lashes, branches bend, but the trunk stays rooted. That's the frame. If the trunk bends, if the roots loosen, the whole tree collapses. And here's the truth. Most people, the moment they hear from someone they've been waiting for, become branches. They bend, twist, and break just to keep that person close. But a Stoic is the trunk. They bend for no one. Why is this so difficult? Because fear whispers lies. Fear says, if you don't soften, they'll leave again. Fear says, if you don't lower your standards, you'll miss your chance. But the truth is the opposite. If you abandon your frame, you don't keep them. You guarantee they won't respect you. And without respect, no relationship, friendship, romance, or family can last. Respect is born from boundaries, and boundaries come from your frame. Let's expose the lie even further. They want you to believe that their return is enough, that their simple presence earns them a free pass. But what about the silence? What about the absence? What about the boundaries you built while they were gone? If you throw those away the second they knock, what message do you send? You tell them you were never serious. You tell them your standards are negotiable. And once someone sees your frame as negotiable, they will test it again and again and again, until there's nothing left. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be." B1. Your frame is not something to debate, explain, or bend. It's something to live. If they reach out at midnight, you don't owe them an instant reply. If they offer vague half-commitments, you don't owe them energy. If they try to walk back in as if nothing happened, you don't owe them your throne. Your frame says, my time matters, my peace matters, my growth matters. And if they don't respect that, they don't deserve access. Now, let's be honest. Abandoning your frame feels easier in the moment. It feels safe, like maybe bending will keep them around. But ask yourself, do you want them around because you bent, or because they chose to respect the real you? One path builds resentment, the other builds strength. Choose strength. Choose the path where your presence demands effort, where your silence teaches respect, and where your frame stands taller than any fleeting message. So here's your challenge. The next time someone breaks the silence, check yourself first. Are you holding your frame, or are you bending to fit theirs? Are you speaking from clarity, or reacting from fear. Your power doesn't come from their attention. It comes from your ability to stay unmoved when tested. When they realize they can't shake your frame, that's when respect is born. That's when you become unforgettable. And if they don't respect it, walk away. Walking away isn't weakness. Walking away is the loudest declaration of strength. It says, I refuse to abandon myself for anyone. And that, my friends, is the essence of Stoicism. Not chasing, not clinging, but standing unshaken in your own value. Let's seal this with your final affirmation. Type these words in the comments right now. My frame is unshakable. Write it, show it, declare it to yourself, to the world, and to anyone who tries to test you. Because your frame is your foundation, and without it, you have nothing. And before we close, if this message hit you, if you felt that power, do me this one favor. Press the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Because too many people are abandoning their frame, and it's time we remind the world. Strength, respect, and power come from within. Stay stoic, stay firm, and I'll see you in the next one.